In today's video, we dive into a provocative question. Is climate change merely a convenient cover for a massive global economic restructuring? As we navigate the complexities of the ongoing climate debate, we will explore key perspectives that highlight the intersection of environmental policy and economic transformation. From the rise of the green economy to corporate opportunism and government regulations, this video will dissect the multifaceted layers of this critical issue while examining the real environmental impact. Join us as we unpack the implications of these shifting paradigms and uncover the motivations that may be driving them. 1. Key perspectives on the debate. The debate surrounding climate change and economic restructuring is multifaceted, involving numerous stakeholders with varying interests. On one side, advocates for climate action emphasize the necessity for sustainable practices to mitigate environmental damage. Conversely, skeptics argue that the underlying motivations for these initiatives may be more economically driven than environmentally focused. This tension raises critical questions about the true intent behind climate policies and their potential implications on a global scale. 2. The green economy boom. The rise of the green economy is undeniable, with renewable energy, electric vehicles, and carbon credits forming multi-trillion-dollar industries. Proponents view this as a positive step towards a more sustainable future, but critics are wary of who benefits most. Concerns have been raised that climate policies may disproportionately favor certain corporations and investors, creating a new class of economic winners. The emergence of green technology has sparked an economic boom, but it has also led to questions about equity and fairness in the distribution of wealth and resources. 3. Government regulation and control. Climate policies often involve extensive regulations, taxation, and subsidies, which can significantly increase governmental influence over economies and industries. While some see this as a necessary step to enforce environmental standards, others argue it expands state power under the guise of environmentalism. This increased control can potentially lead to an imbalance of power, where the government holds more sway over economic activities than ever before. The debate centers around whether such interventions are genuinely for the greater good or if they serve to consolidate power in the hands of a few. 4. Wealth redistribution. One of the contentious aspects of climate policies is the push for financial aid from developed nations to developing countries through climate funds. While this is intended to support nations most affected by climate change, skeptics question whether these funds truly benefit those in need or serve political agendas. The concept of wealth redistribution is noble in theory, but its execution often falls short of its intended goals. This raises questions about transparency and accountability in the allocation of climate funds and whether they are genuinely making a difference. 5. Energy transition and geopolitical shifts. The transition from fossil fuels to renewable energy sources is reshaping global economic landscapes. While it promises a cleaner future, it also threatens economies heavily reliant on oil and gas. The shift is not just about energy but also about geopolitical influence, as nations rich in renewable resources stand to gain prominence. This transformation could lead to a redistribution of global economic power, where traditional energy giants may find themselves sidelined. The energy transition represents a fundamental shift in how countries exert influence on the world stage. 6. Corporate opportunism. Large corporations have embraced sustainability initiatives, often touting their green credentials as part of their brand identity. However, critics argue that these efforts may be more about marketing than genuine commitment to the planet. The concept of corporate opportunism suggests that some companies use climate initiatives as a way to enhance their public image while continuing profit-driven practices. This raises concerns about the sincerity of corporate sustainability efforts and whether they truly contribute to environmental protection. 7. Technological control. The advancement of technology in the name of climate action has led to innovations such as smart grids, digital currencies, and carbon tracking systems. While these technologies have the potential to reduce emissions, they also raise concerns about increased surveillance and restrictions on consumer behavior. The potential for technological control in the name of environmentalism poses ethical questions about privacy and individual freedoms. This aspect of the debate highlights the need for careful consideration of the implications of technology-driven climate solutions. 8. Debt and green financing. The emergence of climate finance and green bonds has created new financial structures aimed at addressing climate change. However, there are concerns about whether these mechanisms truly address environmental issues or merely fuel financial markets. The concept of debt and green financing raises questions about the effectiveness of these tools in achieving their intended goals. While they provide funding for climate initiatives, their impact on the broader economy and their ability to drive meaningful change remain areas of debate. 9. Job market disruption. The shift towards green energy has significant implications for the job market, particularly for those in traditional industries like coal, oil, and manufacturing. While new opportunities are created in tech-driven, automated sectors, there is a risk that the benefits may be concentrated among the elite. The disruption of traditional jobs raises concerns about economic inequality and the need for retraining and reskilling workers. This aspect of the debate underscores the importance of addressing the social and economic impacts of the transition to a green economy. 10. Media and narrative control. The climate crisis is a topic that dominates mainstream media, with dissenting voices often marginalized or overlooked. This has led some to question whether open debate is being stifled in favor of a singular narrative. The role of media and narrative control in shaping public perception of climate change is a critical aspect of the debate. It raises questions about the diversity of perspectives and the ability of individuals to engage in meaningful discussions about the future of our planet. 11. The real environmental impact. While climate change is a scientifically backed phenomenon requiring action, some argue that extreme climate policies may have unintended consequences. These include increased mining for rare minerals needed for green technology, deforestation for biofuels, and inefficiencies in alternative energy sources. The real environmental impact of climate policies is a complex issue that requires careful consideration of both the benefits and potential drawbacks. This highlights the importance of a balanced approach to addressing climate change that takes into account the broader ecological and social context.